HOSA Bowl Round 2 Advisor Orientation for the HOSA State Leadership Conference for Alabama. Just an overview, HOSA Bowl Round 1 takes place Thursday morning at 10:30 a.m. Round 2 is Friday morning, with the event manager personnel orientations beginning at 8 a.m. The judge orientation starts at 8:20 a.m. and the competitors' orientation and the actual event should begin at 8:45 a.m. Please see the specific competitive event schedule for your room. Be prepared to run the event. Round 1, of course, is a test only. The Round 2 portion will require judges. Plan to have 2 judges, but the event can be ran with 1 judge. Advisors will be managing the event. Event personnel may include advisors with students in the event, but they will not be judging. Preparations for State Leadership Conference. Print and review your event's guidelines. The event manager is responsible for coordinating the event, and they, of course, are going to headquarters to get the event binder. Other event personnel should plan to meet in the event room for event setup and go on and start orienting the judges using the guidelines, of course, as the reference. Related to confidentiality, all advisors should complete the online confidentiality agreement prior to State Leadership Conference. The link is found here, and Dana also emailed out that link recently. Hard copies are available in headquarters. Confidentiality has to be of utmost importance in order to assure equity in future events. We are asking all event personnel to complete the online confidentiality form, except judges are not required to do that. Advisors and students are not allowed to enter or observe an event other than their assigned one at any time for any reason. Pictures or copies may not be taken of the events, questions, or equipment. Round 2 specifics for HOSA Bowl. These are 3 to 4 member teams. 8 teams with the highest average score from Round 1 will advance to Round 2 and compete by giving appropriate responses to items presented by a moderator. Winners will be determined by a series of elimination rounds. The last remaining team becomes the first place winner of a section. Section winners play in final rounds to determine the top 3 teams. Your orientation for this event will be completed through this video. The event manager, again, will pick up the binder at headquarters and ask any questions that he or she may have about the event. A separate binder video will already have been sent out. The manager will receive the following at headquarters: a binder with event directions, the top 8 competitor team lists, scripts, bowl questions, seating chart, event survey forms, and judges' gifts. If the assigned event manager cannot attend or pick up the materials, notify Dana Stringer as soon as possible. Another member of the event team will be asked to attend. It's imperative that someone be present to obtain the event materials and any additional instructions. Event manager and personnel need to be very familiar with the HOSA Bowl guidelines and follow them precisely. We should be getting a separate video on how to run the buzzers and kind of how to set up the room that will help you prepare for this. After picking up the event binder, make a plan to orient the judges, get students in the room, call the roll, check IDs, orient the students to how the buzzer rounds will go. Consider where students will wait their turn in the holding area or will they get appointment times. Check the dress code. Of course, there are no guidelines required for Round 2. A reminder that you will document violations on the master summary form we mentioned in the general orientation video. You'll set up and test the buzzers, check how to time the responses, and appoint a moderator for questions. And lastly, keep score. This is a HOSA Bowl room diagram. So it's important to have the room set up the way the guidelines show. Suggestions: orient the judges to the rubrics and time limits of the event. Make sure they're familiar with the guidelines, review the important points to be sure they understand, review the judge's role and stress consistency. Advisors will notify judges if the competitors did not follow the guidelines. Points shall be kept by a judge on the score sheet. So here we have a clip from the guidelines explaining the roles of the judges. They will basically have a copy of the questions, and the lead judge will respond to whether the competitor's answers are correct or incorrect. The judges make all the rulings, and of course the points shall be kept by the judges on the HOSA Bowl score sheet. Here we have some suggestions for the event manager and personnel. Each room will have a table outside the door. Check the roster and the ID and the dress code at the table as they enter the room. We're kind of discreetly wanting you to check the dress code to not point out specifically that they're in violation. Remember that any violation should be noted on the master summary form as we described in the general orientation binder video. Again, we'll try to keep the dress code violation confidential and maybe even have a second event personnel look at the dress and make a mutual decision. If you're unsure, err on the side of the student. And those points will be adjusted at headquarters that you document on the master summary form. The guidelines do state that HOSA uniform or proper business attire is appropriate for HOSA Bowl. And we are documenting the exceptions here, anybody who does not meet the dress code. Other suggestions on how to orient the competitors after the students have been checked in and are standing in the room. Instruct the students to the process of the event, about the order in which they will compete, about the holding area they will use, answer any questions at this time, remind them that the questions they will be given should not be shared, and send them to a holding or instruct them to return at their appointment time. That's your decision. Here is some info for the buzzer rounds. The same list of questions are asked of each team in each section during a round, starting with question 1. The team that has the highest number of points in a 10-minute match is declared the winner of that match. The timekeeper will announce when there is a 1 minute remaining in the round. If the 10-minute time is completed in the middle of an answer, the team is allowed to respond to the item. Teams cannot use or write notes, but may talk quietly during any part of the round. HOSA Bowl basics. When the moderator presents a question, team members have 5 seconds to buzz in. When a member buzzes, that member has 5 seconds to answer and may confer with team members. If a team member buzzes before the moderator reads the whole question, the moderator does not complete the question. The same list of questions are asked of each team in each section during a round, starting with question 1. The team with the highest number of points in a 10-minute match wins. In the event of a tie score, 5 tiebreaker items are asked, and the team with the high score is the winner. This process may be repeated if necessary. The moderator will not give the correct response to any item if neither team can answer correctly. This is a HOSA Bowl competition script, just a clip from the guidelines. Keep the goal in mind. Our goal is to set an example of high standards and integrity for our students while being as fair and equitable as possible. These are leadership qualities we hope to instill in all our members, so we as the advisors have to be the example. Conduct the event as you would like others to conduct events for your students. Grievances. If a student has a grievance, listen carefully. If you can fix the issue, fix it if it can be fair. If you're unsure how to fix it, or even if it needs to be fixed, refer to their advisor. Their advisor can bring the grievance to headquarters in a professional and confidential manner. Keep in mind that everyone is doing their best and that we are all human. When the event is complete, thank the judges, provide them with a thank you card and gift. Gather all supplies and equipment and straighten the room. Package the buzzers up carefully. Complete the event survey. All event personnel, managers, and judges do need to complete a survey. Refer to the event binder for instructions on what items should be placed in the front binder pocket. Make sure all items on the check sheet are accounted for and that your master summary form is complete. Event manager and personnel should return the binder and all supplies to headquarters. Thank you so much for helping run this event. We could not make Alabama HOSA State Leadership Conference possible without you.